What's happened in the last couple of years has been completely unprecedented and a complete shock and surprise to the industry.
Snow crabbing season in Alaska's Bering Sea is canceled for the second year in a row after billions of crabs disappeared over the last couple of years. Everyone from scientists to crabbers all agree on one thing. It was completely unexpected. Meteorologist Leah Pizzetti with the Environment Northwest team joins us now to explain how we got here and what's next, Leah.
Joyce, crabs in the Bering Sea went from thriving to essentially non-existent in just a few years, something no one saw coming. And all signs point to warming ocean waters as the central problem. At first glance, it's everything you'd imagine the state of Alaska would look like. A picture-perfect evening from above water. But below, it's a different story.
These are juvenile snow crab that came back this year from the Bering Sea.
Snow crabs, creatures that historically have filled the Bering Sea, vanished. Everyone caught off guard.
The survey result in 2021 for Bering Sea snow crab was a complete shock.
A State of Alaska researcher.
The fishery looked extremely healthy. Out of nowhere, the stock collapsed.
A Bering Sea crabber.
It was, evidently a population collapse.
A National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration biologist. All echoing the same message. This mass disappearance came out of nowhere. They've looked at multiple answers, trying to figure out where these crabs may have gone.
It's either a mortality event, right? The crab are not there, they all died. Or our survey gear didn't sample them. Whether or not that's because they moved, either west or north. Those were questions that we certainly asked in 2021.
Scientists do not believe the crabs migrated somewhere else because surrounding waters have not seen an increase in crabs.
It's not really assumed that 10 billion of those small snow crab that don't typically undertake long migrations like that just up and left.
They also don't believe overfishing caused this current issue because the crabs that went missing are young, so they're too small for commercial fishing and would likely be too small for pots anyway.
We believe the population decline for Bering Sea snow crab is largely due to natural mortality events due to fluctuating environmental conditions.
Alaskan scientists believe a key part of this puzzle is the water temperature of Alaska's Bering Sea. Snow crabs prefer cold water, usually between 0 to 1 degree Celsius. But 2018 and 2019 brought record warm waters to the Bering Sea with temperatures above 3 degrees Celsius. They don't think the warm water directly killed the crabs, but it was likely a domino effect.
In some ways, it's sort of telling that temperature could be the red flag in this situation. We as scientists are still trying to understand how that relationship plays out.
Their best guess is these crabs died from multiple indirect impacts from the warm water, likely a combination of problems stemming from crabs cramming together in cold pools, ultimately spreading disease or fighting for food.
In terms of the future for Bering Sea crab populations, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm very hopeful that they'll rebound. Really what we need is for the environment to kind of revert back to its cold conditions.
There is a glimmer of hope. 2022 and 2023 data shows temperatures are almost back to normal in the Bering Sea, but it does not mean it will stay that way.
We really need cold conditions to return to the Bering Sea to promote good population growth. However, global climate change is an ongoing issue that we're struggling with understanding how best to manage these fisheries in light of that.
For now, they're managing by canceling as long as this crabbing crisis continues.
I do think for an Arctic species, the future is uncertain. Like I said, I'm an optimist, and I can only hope that the conditions continue to support viable populations of snow crab. Now, red king crabs are also on a decline in the Bering Sea, but on a different timeline. Red king crabs have seen a steady decline over the last 10 years, not this sudden, drastic drop-off like snow crabs. This year, red king crabbing season is open after being canceled last year. So there's one glimmer of good news with this.
So we all want to know what's it going to take to fix this.
It's a waiting game, Joyce. It's time is what it's going to take. Scientists say canceling crabbing season last year, will give those juvenile crabs time to mature, but that could take years. So they'll likely continue to cancel moving forward, but they'll take it year by year.
We have a lot of coverage on this. If you want to see all of our coverage of crabbing in crisis, including how it's going to impact the seafood industry, text the word crab to 206-448-4545 and we will send you a link.